If you're recovering or suffering from burnout, here's the brutal truth no one tells you. Getting laid off was a relief. I was finally forced to rest. But today, I'm almost as anxious and tired as I was when I was working 55 hours per week. I thought taking my workload to zero would allow me to rest. And honestly, for a few months it did. To be fair, I was also grieving the loss of my father, and that helped me give myself permission to disengage for a while. But I'm not retiring. I haven't permanently pulled the plug on working. It's like putting a high-revving engine into neutral, not park. And here's what surprised me. Neutral doesn't feel peaceful. It feels like I'm wasting the engine entirely. But for the past few months, something has been sneaking up on me, and I think it's the lie we tell ourselves. I'm not valuable if I'm not productive. If you're burnt out or recovering from it, here's the trap. The very things that made you successful, your grit, your hard work, your willingness to do whatever it took to be successful, are the very things that will sabotage your rest. Productivity says, more, keep grinding, keep working hard. Rest, it doesn't demand anything. You get stuck jumping between, I must be doing something, I have to do something, and I shouldn't be doing anything, I should be resting. It's like the car is slipping back into gear and then lurching forward, and then you're slamming on the brakes and putting it back into neutral. For me, this looks like my wife starting an online business about a month or month and a half after I got laid off. And then I started this channel a few months after that. They're getting slow traction, but they're not massive successes right out of the gates, as we shouldn't expect them to be. She's even gone back to teaching private piano to help out our family finances and kind of slow our cash burn. But that, in turn, makes me, the guy that provided for so long, feel guilty. Like things not working on our business ventures is my fault. That things breaking in the house is my fault. That I'm useless. You know what the worst part is? I know that slow traction makes sense. But my productivity brain screams that I'm a failure because I'm not getting the instant or nearly instant results that I was used to getting when I worked hard in the corporate world. What I'm really facing, and maybe you are too, is a value crisis. As in, what makes me valuable? So here's the truth that runs counter to your productivity-fueled life. Your value doesn't have anything to do with how hard you work, how successful you are, how much money you make, or what your title is. My wife isn't guilt-tripping me about not working. She's thanking me for carrying the load for 19 years. She's loving, she's caring, she's encouraging me to rest. But my productivity brain says I'm a failure because I'm not working and I'm not feeling very successful. It's essentially saying, Kevin, your value is tied to your work. And you know what the cruel irony is? The very things that made me successful in the corporate world, measuring everything, having spreadsheets, tracking results, pushing on harder, are now kind of like prison bars that are keeping me trapped. It's a battle. I'm undoing decades of thinking, but it's one worth winning. So if you're in the same boat as me, or the same car going between neutral and gear, let me share 4 things that I think help. First, realize this is a long game. You didn't become a productivity-focused, burned-out workaholic overnight, and you won't fix it overnight either. Experts say it can take 6 to 12 months to officially get over burnout, and I'm on month 6. So I'm not behind schedule, I'm actually right on time. Second, accept the dips. It's okay to have bad days, or even bad weeks, just like it did when you're working so hard. If you're coming from the corporate world, you may have seen the Kubler-Ross change curve. That curve also applies to you and your battle to rewire your brain. Third, redefine your value. Ask yourself, am I worth more than a workaholic schedule? Is the only point of my existence sitting here grinding away? Or is there more to life? The answer should be obvious, but when you're in burnout or burnout recovery, it's not. You have to fight to believe that there's more to life every day. For me, I'm getting to teach my kids history as we homeschool them this year. I'm around for conversations and bedtime stories and getting to take them to activities that I used to miss. These are things that wouldn't show up on a corporate scorecard, but they matter more than any promotion I ever got. Last, recognize the small wins. Just like you would if you were doing change in a corporate environment, there are going to be small wins along the way that you should be celebrating. For me, not only am I spending more time with my kids, I'm getting to have a regular date night with my wife. Both of these things suffered greatly when I was working 55 hours per week. In fact, one of the best compliments I've gotten from my family came from my daughter about a month ago. You see, I used to be late for dinner pretty regularly, and when I came down, I was usually still checking my phone for Slack or work emails or something like that. So we devised a plan to put my phone into phone jail so I would actually be able to reset, pay attention to my family, and be present. About a month ago, she said, "Daddy, you're doing a great job not needing phone jail." You can imagine how that felt. If you're in this messy middle of recovery, you're not alone. Leave a comment and tell me, what's your biggest struggle with redefining your worth? I read every single one, and trust me, your story matters. Hit that like and subscribe button for more content like this in the future, and YouTube thinks you might enjoy this video too.